let's talk about additive inverses. So we talked about this way back when, I think chapter 1 or 2 last semester. And remember, additive inverse is a number that you can add to a number to make it turn to 0, right? And remember, 0 is the additive identity, right? So basically an additive inverse is the opposite of a number, right? You just change a sign to get the additive inverse, right? Change the sign. Okay, and so here the additive inverse of a is negative a, right? The additive inverse of negative a is positive a. So it works both ways, because if you add a and negative a, or a number and its opposite, you get 0. All right? So if we multiply an expression by -1, that gives us the additive inverse, right? That makes it its opposite. So that's the idea, is we can multiply a number by -1, and that gives us the additive inverse of that expression. Okay, so if we're talking about polynomials like a minus b, we can multiply a minus b by -1, and that we can distribute the -1. So it'll be -1 multiplied by a, which is negative a, and then -1 multiplied by negative b is positive b, right? So the additive inverse of a minus b is negative a plus b, or you could rearrange that and get b minus a. All right. So these examples were basically finding additive inverses of these polynomials. So we're given an expression where we have a negative out front, and remember that's an invisible, there's invisible 1 there, right? So when we have a negative out front, all we're doing is just changing the signs of what's inside, right? We can, if you want to, think of it as multiplying by -1, you can, but you can see when we multiply -1 by -4, we get +4. When we multiply -1 by -u, we get positive u. So essentially all we're doing is just changing the signs of the numbers inside the parentheses. All right. So if we look at number 46, all I have to do, if I have a negative out front, I'm just going to change the sign of everything inside. So this will go from a positive x to a negative x. This will go from a negative 5b to a positive 5b. All right, and that's all it is. So let's take a look at number 50. So here we have a negative out front, so it's going to change the signs of everything inside. So it'll go from -4t squared to positive 4t squared. It'll go from positive t to negative t, and -6 to +6. All right, so just change each sign. All right, we'll do number 48 just for good measure. So in front here, 5b squared is going to change to -5b squared. Negative b turns to positive b, and -7 turns to +7. All right.